Mamrie Hart likes to drink. In fact, she's made a career of it. On her YouTube channel, You Deserve a Drink, she makes signature cocktails for her celebrity guests. I love to fantasize about an Alicia Menendez signature drink. It's something to think about during yoga. At first, I thought a Moscow Menendez, but then I settled on a white Cuban. It's like a white Russian, but in better weather. Lucky for me, Mamrie Hart has written all of her alcohol and life lessons into a new memoir, complete with drink recipes. She joins us now to talk about her book, which is named after her YouTube channel. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I am so excited that you are here and that you're sharing all of your stories of debauchery and hangovers with us. Is there anything you were too embarrassed to include in this book?
No, I pretty much just decided if you're going to go for it, really go for it. However, I took precautions, and in the preface of the book, I institute a safe word for anyone that's related to me.
Yeah, I generally only thought of safe words in relation to sex, so I'm glad to know that they can also apply to literature,
well,
Mamrie.
I do explain what a safe word is, and even that I don't want my parents to read.
You know, you share so much of your life and some really embarrassing stories, and I was wondering, reading the book, if that is real courage or liquid courage.
Ooh, I would say I definitely use some liquid courage to get it on paper, but, you know, I write drunk, edit sober, so I still have to relive it.
It's a good policy to live by. There was one story in the book that really stood out to me when you're performing on stage with your friends, Grace Helbig and Hannah Hart, and there's some D-bag in the audience who talks to you about your body and says this sort of really derogatory thing. It actually bothered me so much I don't want to say it out loud so that other people don't think it's okay to say. But what was so interesting to me is you clearly have people write crap about you on the internet all the time in the comment section, and yet that seemed to like really knock you back. And I wondered what it was about hearing someone criticize you in person that made it different than being anonymous and on the internet.
I guess on the internet, even though it's completely not right, I'm a little desensitized to it because I feel like people use the anonymity to be able to say whatever they want. It's not good, but I'm kind of used to it. The thing that made me so mad about someone giving a derogatory comment in person is that other people had to hear it.
Yep.
And so it was during a live show, and him saying something about my body in front of an audience of young girls just pissed me off. That they would feel nervous during a show when you're just supposed to be having fun.
Right. No, the blackout moment that you experience, I
totally... I have rage, apparently.
Because it's funny, online you have this habit, which I think is a really smart habit, and one I've tried to employ myself, of responding to crazy commenters by being like, oh, I'm really sorry that rubbed you the wrong way, like it's just my... And then what's been the response that you get when you jump into the comments and you try to inoculate things?
Oh, I love this. I talk about it in the book a little bit, is I always respond with kindness. Kill them with kindness. Thank you for your thoughts. Or, you know, even if it's a terrible comment, it's, well, thanks for the view. Please subscribe. So I try to kill them with kindness, and I've found that the most often response is because people are shrouded in this anonymity. When you call them out, it's immediate apology.
Yeah.
In fact, my favorite is when they say that their sibling broke their YouTube account and wrote that. I mean, the kind of stories you hear, it's like more than a teacher hears about homework. I'm just like, sure, a Russian spy just rappelled into your window and wrote that you could drive a train through my gap teeth. Sure,
yeah,
okay.
That does explain the horrible grammar, so I
exactly.
at least appreciate that. I want to talk to you a little about drinking, because I am a fan of the drink myself.
I heard white Cuban?
A white Cuban, yeah, which actually kind of sounds disgusting upon further reflection.
No, come on my show. I'll make it delicious.
Okay, I will take you up on that. So much of your audience is so young, right? And so I have to imagine that for many of them, you are their first introduction to drinking.
Yes.
Do you take that as a responsibility?
I definitely do. I definitely try to preach... don't drink underage, do not drink and drive, don't even text and drive, even though that's not drinking. But really, I think the message that I try to bring to YouTube is really less about even the drinking aspect. You know, that's the vehicle to get the point across, but really just what I want to explore is just self-acceptance.
Yeah.
And so really, I'm making drinks and I'm creating cocktails, but the thing I'm really making is a fool of myself and trying to make that feel like a norm.
All right, to that end, final question. Make the case to me for Topless Tuesdays.
Oh, snap. Okay. Topless Tuesday was a club I had in college where girls got together and learned new life skills and drank bourbon and smoked cigars, all topless. And you'll read it in my book when everyone goes and buys it. I feel like being comfortable nude around friends in certain cases just brings kind of a self-acceptance, a comfortableness with your body being naked in an environment that's completely unsexual.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, tune in next Tuesday. All right, Mamrie, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much.